Let's also get in Amar Singh, the Senior Vice President Research from Angel One. Amar, it has been quite a volatile week. Yes, last week we saw a 1,200 points decline. Again, today we have gained around 200 points, but we are around the crucial level of 23,800. How do you expect the Nifty to perform from here on? Do you expect a major uptick to come in, or the Nifty will consolidate at current levels?
Yeah, very good morning, and thank you for having me on the show. See, the pullback, I would say, was on expected lines because Nifty witnessed a very sharp correction. And if you look at the lows which Nifty made last week, that was almost 23,500, 600, so which was a very strong support. And also some of the technical indicators do point towards a pullback. But the big question is how far will the pullback last, and from where again we could witness selling? Because what we are seeing in Nifty, couple of things I would like to talk from a technical and fundamental perspective. From a technical perspective, what we're seeing is that the intermediate term trend continues to be very negative. It's in oversold territory, so that's the reason we're seeing a pullback. However, some of the heavyweights, how they actually play out, like Reliance, HDFC Bank, they are going to be very important factors going forward. So I would say on the upside, we could witness some pullback towards the 24,000 level, 24,200 level. There's a possibility of a pullback towards those levels. But then again, we could witness some sort of selling pressure. So it's more of a consolidation which is happening in Nifty, and also this month's closing is going to be very important because if I look at some of the technical indicators, so one technical indicator clearly post March of 2023 hasn't really closed below the monthly close. So that's something which is very important and crucial. So closing below, for example, 23,500 or so could mean that, and sustaining below that levels could mean that we could witness more selling pressure. And 23,200, 300 is a very sacrosanct and very strong support zone for Nifty. Breaching that would mean that there would be some fresh negative triggers, primarily on a global scale.
The key levels to watch out for the Nifty Bank Index, but because at least today it's outperforming the benchmark.
Yeah, so if you look at Nifty Bank and I would say Nifty, both have a slightly different trajectory because what we witnessed in Nifty Bank was that HDFC Bank to a certain extent helped. So Nifty Bank isn't as weak as compared to Nifty, primarily on the back of, I would say, Reliance and some of the other stocks. So on the downside, Nifty Bank is very strongly supported around the 50,000, 50,400 zone. So but upside for both the indices seems to be capped at the moment. So we could witness consolidation as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, 52,000, 52,200, so 1,000-point rally from here is all possible. But again, we could witness some selling pressure. So one should be prepared for at least a couple of weeks for more of choppy trading sessions ahead.
And how are the steel stocks looking like? Obviously, there's a fundamental reason behind today's move, but on technical front, how are the steel names looking like?
So you're talking about the steel sector.
JSW Steel, JSPL, Steel Authority, Tata Steel.
So what we are seeing here is, first of all, talking about SAIL. See, SAIL has witnessed some sort of decent correction from almost 170 levels currently around 120. So we are witnessing a pullback there, and as you rightly said, there's a trigger also, which is the duty which is being imposed. So that could be one of the reasons. But again, it could also be a dead cat bounce because what we are seeing in Tata Steel, just to speak of, Tata Steel definitely has a very strong support. So ideally, the recent low of 137 should hold. So that's the reason we could witness some buying back. But again, on the upside, 150, 152. So I would say all these steel stocks are very good from a trading perspective. So the current lows are very strong support zones. And talking about the third stock which you mentioned, GSW Steel. GSW Steel is also around 945 levels. You can expect upside rally towards 980. Downside support is around 920 odd or so. But again, there's no trend per se from an intermediate term perspective. So more of choppy trading sessions, but very good from a trading perspective.
Speaking of sector specific, then what are going to be your picks? Where do you see pockets of value? I mean, last week, all the sectoral indices ended in the red except for Nifty Pharma that was holding on. Do you see value coming in from that sector? What are the pockets of value? What are going to be your picks?
Yeah, so I would say one is definitely from the pharma space because we've seen some very good traction in the pharma space, in the reality space. So one is Laurus Labs, I would say that's very strong, still on the uptrend. We did witness some correction, some But that was a minor correction from almost 600 levels to currently trade around 565, 566 odd levels. So it's around support zones. We can expect a pullback on the daily charts. It's moved from oversold territory. On the intermediate term trend, momentum is very strong. Long term also looks fine. So Loris Labs is one stock one can definitely keep a close watch on at around current levels or towards 560 with a stop loss of 537 and a target of 597 on the upside. So that's one. And the second to look at is Bajaj Finserv. So Bajaj Finserv, what we've seen is that the stock for this quarter has witnessed a correction of almost 20%, which is quite sizable. From almost 2000 levels, the stock is currently trading around 1580 odd or so. However, though it is weak on the intermediate term trend, it is around very crucial support zones. So there's an expectation of a pullback from the daily charts. So one can look at buying around the current levels with a stop loss below 1550 and a target of 1653 in the short term. But again, one needs to remember that these are all from a trading perspective because the intermediate term trend of most of these stocks have turned very negative. So that effectively means is that there's no trend per se, and these stocks are likely to trade in a range, just like I talked about the steel stocks earlier.
All right, Amar. So Loris Labs and Bajaj Finserv is what you've picked out for us. But on that note, we will let you go on that note. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.